Let's talk about lists. As you have seen, I've already created my project. But before I talk about lists, I want to give you a quick intro about what lists are. Lists are basically a data structure. Now, what is a data structure? It sounds complex, but it's really not. Data structure is just a way for you to organize data. And list is a type of data structure, meaning it is a way, just a certain way in which you can organize your data. Think of lists as a bag, and within that bag, you can have multiple variables. The only thing is that the variables have to be of the same type. So let me show you what I mean. Here is how we create a list. We say list, which is a reserved keyword, and then we have less than and greater than signs. Within that, we put the type, right? So what it can hold. And then we say the name of the list, I'm going to call it my first list. And I'm going to say new list and then parentheses. Don't worry about the parentheses. This is the default, and the default case just says instantiate an empty list. And that's what we need for now. So after you do this, you say assign. So you use the assignment operator, then you use the new operator to instantiate your new list. And once you've instantiated your new list, you assign the value of that to your newly created variable that is of list that holds ints. What you can actually do to make it more readable is you can say var, and that is totally fine as well. So you have created your first list. Let's go ahead and add things to the list. The way you can do that is by using the method add, and then you can say 10. You can actually then say anything else as long as it's an int or the type that you've declared it originally. If I actually say add and then I put in a string, you can see it will not work. But if I change this to a string, then it will work, but these two will break. See, they're underlined red. So that makes sense. Another thing to note about lists is that their size will get dynamically adjusted, meaning that it will start from 0, and then as you add, the size will grow. You don't have to have an initial capacity and then worry what happens if you run out of that initial capacity. So let's actually go ahead and test that. I will say console, write line, and then I will say my first list dot count, which is another method we have access to once we have instantiated our list. So I will print the length or how many items it holds initially, and then after we have added items to it. Let's go ahead and print that. And we can see in the console that it says 0 and 2. So note that about the list. And also we will be doing other things with the list once we learn how to loop through lists and arrays. But for now, that's it. You've learned about data structures a little bit and how to instantiate a new list and then add elements to it. Now let's talk about arrays in our next video.